Yo, happy Sunday. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, a beautiful weekend. And I tell you, this has been an amazing week. Had a phenomenal time in Las Vegas at the SEMA show. It was so amazing to connect with some amazing people all across the globe. And also then to come home. Actually came home a little bit early. I needed to take care of a family thing, and so it was good to come home and spend some time with my son. And then yesterday I had the opportunity to go down to UVU to watch UTRGV and UVU meet together. They're both 9-1, and I watched those two teams come and meet and see who knocked the other person out of first place. But this week I had a really powerful discussion with a good friend at the at SEMA at Rennie Doyle's event. Me and this brother Shad Stoker had a few moments to step away, just one-on-one, to have a chat. And we got talking about trauma. We got talking about how, you know, from a very early age, he had some pretty heavy trauma, and I was sharing some of the trauma that we've had in our family. And I think a lot of times, you know, we look at people and we make judgments about who they are, what they should be doing, who they should be, instead of embracing where they are and loving them through the process of where they are. My wife often says, you know what, we don't know the backstory. We don't know the backstory of people, of the experiences that they had as a child, through being a teenager, even their experiences as an adult, working through loss and pain and trauma and divorce and so many things that you just don't know, you know, what happens in people's life to sometimes, maybe from your perspective, you know, they're a little grumpy, they're a little bit short. And you know what, some days we can be short and we can be difficult and we can be a challenge for other people, and it's because we are wrestling with something that we haven't shared, and maybe we don't want to share, we're embarrassed to share, or we're still struggling to find the answer through a very heavy challenge that we're going through. And it's just made me realize more and more as I get older, yeah, I'm getting older, that we need to be kinder, we need to be gentler, we need to give people grace to work through their seasons of life, through their own growth, through their own periods of trying to figure things out. And I think a lot of times where we get caught up is we are making assumptions and judgments out of the expectations that we have, rather than just embracing them for who they are and loving them. Years ago, I worked nights, graveyard shift, and then went to school full time. And I worked with a gentleman, his name was Dale Morgan, and nobody wanted to work with him because he flat out was a jerk. He was difficult to work with. He was short with people. He was rude. And I went to my boss and I said, you know what, I'll work with him. I don't have a problem. I'll work with him. So every night, Dale and I would work together, and I would bring him a Mountain Dew. I would bring him homemade cookies, or I would bring him, you know, some snacks that I had. And over time, you know, I just consistently leaned into this relationship and just was really nice to Dell. And I remember this one night, after about 6 months of this, he was very quiet. He was very contemplative. And I said hi, brought him his soda, and then I went off to the rounds and came back about 2:30 in the morning, and sat down at the computer, and he goes, Jody, can I ask you something? I said, yeah. He said, why do you like me? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, why do you like me? He goes, I know that I'm a jerk. He goes, I know that I can be really difficult and I don't tend to like people, but you like me. Why do you like me? And I said, you know what, Dell? I don't know what's gone on in your life. But you know what? I see who you can become. And so I treat you that way. I treat you like you are a kind person. You're a gentle person. And you know what? You're becoming that person. Because not only do I see it in you, I treat you that way and you're embracing it. So I would just encourage us to be a little kinder, a little gentler, a little bit more empathetic and understanding. Because you don't know the backstory. You don't know what happened on the way to work, what happened in the morning, what happened last night, what happened this weekend, what happened this month. You don't know if they're on the edge of bankruptcy or they're struggling with health issues. You don't know if they're on the edge of divorce and they're trying to figure it out. And it's amazing what a little tenderness, what a little bit of kindness and love will do. You know, instead of being short with people, let's try to be a little bit more patient and understanding and say, you know what? Just because I assumed you knew something, or I thought you knew something, or I assumed that you should be here and you're not, I'm going to love you through the process. Because in the end, life is about becoming. It's not about a destination, right? It's about who are we becoming as men, as women, as husbands, as fathers, as mothers, as families. Who are we becoming? And it's a process. I can tell you, I'm not the man I was when I first got married. And thank God I'm not. And I tell you, a lot of that growth has come because my wife, she's like, I'm not putting up with that crap. And I was humble enough to go, you know what? I have some rough edges that I need to embrace. So I just want to say I love you guys. Now, Richard Hutchins, it was great to see you and your beautiful wife, Carolyn. It was great to see our friends from Puerto Rico. It was great to see so many people, you know, at the SEMA show from all over the world, all over the country, to reconnect and to hear and visit with people. Shad, I appreciate your strength. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate our conversation because it allowed me an opportunity to talk one-on-one, man-to-man with someone that understands that life is not always easy. It's not always pretty. In fact, sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's messy, and it's our opportunity to lean into each other, to give each other love, and to become more loving. So, I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday. Just had a couple thoughts that I wanted to share with you. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Hard to believe it's already November. Thanksgiving's coming up and Christmas. My two second favorite times of the year because summer's my favorite. But as far as holiday seasons, Thanksgiving and Christmas for me are hands down number one. So anyway, happy Sunday. I'm gonna go make some dinner for my beautiful wife and kids. And you guys have a fantastic day. See ya!